All right. Hey everyone, Jeff here at stopthepirates.blogspot.com. So the person or the Freemason in the black robe sitting in front of a court is a man or woman on the land operating a corporate fiction called a court. It's actually a pirate ship in dry dock under international maritime admiralty law, which can only do business with another fiction, your strawman. It's your name in all capital letters. If you ever looked at a summons or any kind of a complaint or warrant, which typically starts with a legal proceeding, a suit, you will see the identities of the parties involved as plaintiff and defendant. And they're always spelled in all capital letters because they're fictions. So these judges are just administrative judges. But anyway, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. I mean, that's just the one of the tricks, these magicians do, the magi. I know, let's call them a name, but we'll steal their name and make it all capital letters and turn it into a corporate fiction, and then we'll borrow money against them and steal it all. The whole system is based on theft. Period. It's very clever. It's very ingenious. That's why I find it so fascinating, I guess. Just trying to get to the bottom of it. So it's all capital letters. They're all fictions. The United States contracted with the Federal Reserve to use its private copyrighted script, the Federal Reserve note, for all debts, both private and public. And that private script can only be brought into the public, the corporate domain, that is the system we currently live in, through a chartered banking institution or a pass-through account. And the pass-through account is your limited liability Social Security account. Anyone bringing money into the public in any other way can be charged with money laundering. Okay. And they're the counterfeit experts, so I guess they would know, wouldn't they? So with that groundwork laid, we can come to the greatest scam of all, and the use of your credit without your permission or knowledge. In a debt-based system, such as the one we use under the currently under the national bankruptcy of 1933, all value is created through lending, and what you lend is credit because there is no longer any money. They took all gold out of circulation. House Joint Resolution 192, and the government took it all away, and every living soul in the system has the right, and albeit cleverly hidden, and the ability to create credit. Actually, we have unlimited credit. So only a living soul, excuse me, whose value to society has been dominated in bonds collateralized by the evidence of his physical birth, has access to credit, except for fictions such as banks, which are chartered by the government, given the franchise to create credit. However, when you sit down with a banker and take out a loan, you sign a promissory note. And on the strength of your signature, the loan, which is really a draw of your own credit, and that's what they don't tell you. And then when you sit down, you go to take out a mortgage or something, you actually think, unless you know any of this information, that the bank is going to lend you some of their money. And now, albeit there are brokers and things like that who take out warehouse lines of credit and things like that, it's different. But any of these major banks, your Wells Fargo, your Bank of America, anything like that, they have a monopoly on negotiable instruments, and they're going to take your note and they're going to sell it. They're going to hypothecate it. That's why they want to know if you have good credit or not, because based on your credit, that's going to determine how much they can sell your note for. Not that you can't get your credit, which you legally and probably should be able to. They just don't want to deal with it because if it's bad paper, they can't sell it. Anyway, so we're led to believe that the bank is lending us some of its assets and that it's entitled to a repayment of principal plus interest. The bank is using your credit to create a loan and then demanding that you pay back something that belongs to you. They have you sign a deed of trust, and that's the hidden deal right there. This means that all loans are fraudulent because under the terms of contract, Whether it is a mortgage or a line of credit or a credit card account, a car loan, or any other loan. The truth of the matter is that they never fully divulged, and no contract can stand as legitimate and lawful unless the terms of the agreement were shared with the borrower, and there's no lawful consideration on the part of the so-called lender. And they know that. I mean, if they make the stack of paper big enough, you're not going to go through it all. I was in the mortgage industry for a long time. People don't read any of that shit. Here, we're going to give you a $25,000 second mortgage. Sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here. Here's your copy of everything you just signed. You know what they do when they take their copy? They go home and they put it in their drawer and close it. Who has time? So anyway, the bank deposits the promissory note that you sign as it would a check that you wrote, flips it over and endorses it illegally, creates a special demand type account, deposits it, and then carries the loan on its book first as an asset and secondly as a liability owed to you. Of course, they never tell you this, but it's true. If you're willing to risk having your accounts at your bank shut down, which they would probably do, try asking a branch manager exactly what happens to a promissory note. He probably doesn't even know, to tell you the truth. I mean, have you gone into banks and looked into the eyes of these people? Or low IQ people standing there just doing a repetitive job, which in fact is going to be taken over by computers very soon, so we don't even need them. The fact is, and we don't even need banks now that we have Bitcoin. The fact is you have unlimited credit, and there's a burgeoning community of Americans who are learning about all of this information. But my point here, and to kind of summarize this all, is that in a debt-based system, all value is created by lending in order to discharge, not pay other debt obligations. You discharge or you set it off with promises to pay. If you still have checks, if you still have a checking account, look at the signature line on your check and get a magnifying glass out, and you'll see it's not just a black line. It says authorized rep, authorized rep, authorized rep. And on the bottom of that check is an account number and routing number. It doesn't route to Bank of America or Wells Fargo or whoever's doing your banking for you. It routes to one of the 12 Federal Reserve banks in the Federal Reserve System holding your exemption account. So you're the authorized rep for that account at the Federal Reserve Bank. I just proved it to you. Okay, so you're the agent for the person. You're the authorized rep. Your signature pays for it all. If you want to pay them with Federal Reserve notes, go ahead. Or other types of bank credit where you enter into other accounts and promise to pay them back. Just get your mindset around this and it'll start opening up to you. And focus on the frequency. The government and all its subsets have tried very hard for many decades to keep the fact of this value from you, and that's what the public school system is for. The debtor prisons, the debtor training camps are set up to, teach you how to go into debt, go to school, take out a loan, and wow, they really get you. That's what's paying for all the wars. I think one is the prison system, which they have bonds that they issue based on because all crimes are commercial and they all have a monetary value attached to them. So what they do when you don't pay the bail, they issue bonds on it and they sell those just like you would your birth certificate bonds. It's a profit deal. So, people can learn about this or they can just go back to sleep. It doesn't matter. It's very difficult. It takes time consuming and it takes a lot of work. I've put a lot of work into it. Go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com if you're interested in this type of information. Anyway, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.